Hi, it's Janet Hilts here, breakthrough coach at janethilts.com. Today I was thinking about how self-destructive it is to blame yourself. And I know that especially women go straight to this. A lot of psychological research has been done that shows that women are much more likely to when if they're looking for whose fault it is, they're much more likely to assume that it's their fault. It's my fault before even looking outside. And then after some assessment, if they go through all this evaluation and decide it's not me, then they start looking outside themselves. And I just want you to consider doing something really different, which is changing the question that you ask. Instead of asking whose fault it is, who's to blame, if there's something going on that you don't like, a great question to ask is, what do I want to do differently? Or what can I do different the next time? So look, this puts you in an entirely different state. It fires off very different chemicals in your brain that can actually help you come up with a solution. And it puts the power back into your hands. Whereas if you're looking for whose fault it is, what did I do wrong, how am I to blame for what's going on, that it just puts the brakes on any kind of feeling good. Because on the tail end of those questions usually comes along a bunch of shame and maybe some embarrassment and different forms of self-punishment. Maybe you get into scolding yourself or calling yourself names. And that, it feels awful, doesn't it? So look, if you grew up in an environment where this was a common question to be asked, like who did it, whose fault it is it, who's to blame, it's pretty natural that those questions are going to come up for you. But you have the freedom, you have the choice to start asking yourself different questions. Okay, so I'm not talking about never taking personal responsibility for things. Taking personal responsibility is a powerful, good feeling. And can you see how it's very different from blaming yourself? If I ask myself, if I'm looking at something and I'm seeing it didn't turn out the way I want it to, and I tell myself, I want to take responsibility for how this happens next time. Okay, that gets my brain in motion for being open to ideas coming in, being open to my intuition, being ready to make a plan, as opposed to punishing myself, looking back all the time at what went wrong. I want to look forward to what could be better the next time. So this is, I know that it can be easier said than done if it's a habit that's been going on for a long time, but I just want to encourage you to make a decision that you want to shift away from this whole world of blame. And if our question is who's to blame, and we commonly come up with somebody else or something else to blame, that leaves us in a completely powerless situation and in a victim stance where we can't move forward until somebody else changes or some other circumstances change. And I am on a mission to help women everywhere understand the power that they contain in themselves, a peaceful power to be able to create the lives that they really want to create. On April 17th, I'm offering a program called Decision Mastery, and I want to invite you to join me in that program. It's 90 minutes where we're going to go deep with other women and learn to shift some of these deep old habits, get rid of some of the emotional reasons from whenever that are causing problems with making decisions today. Because, as I said, I want that power in your hands, where it already is, if you can just uncover the head trash that lies in the way. And that's exactly what we're going to do together in Decision Mastery, is just get some of those blocks out of the way so you can make fast decisions that you trust. I hope today that you'll make the decision to leave the habit of blaming yourself. Just leave that in the dust and go ahead and ask new questions for yourself. What do I want to do different? And just really notice how the new ideas, the new inner resources that you can now feel, how they just open up with simply changing that question. So you can look in the comments for the details about Decision Mastery, and I hope to see you there. Okay, this is Janet Hilts from janethilts.com, and I'll see you again soon.